Yeah, so please come forward, and then the only thing I would ask from you is that you take a seat, feel free to take a seat, and that you identify yourself before you say some words, and I'm not sure whether we'll have time for questions, but over to you.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Hugh Goff, and I represent a couple of Broken Hill businesses. One, a small bed and breakfast, and one is a developing website. I brought this book along with me, which is in fact the best hated man in Australia. I brought it along because it was launched in this very room on the 13th of August last year. It's about the significant years of Percy Brookfield. Percy Brookfield was perhaps you could draw some parallels. He held the balance of power in the Legislative Assembly of New South Wales at one particular time. He was shot and gave his life on the railway station at Riverton. And his funeral was held in this very building. And there was over 15,000, well, it's reported that there were between 15 and 20,000 mourners at his funeral. One of the biggest funerals ever held in Australia. This building to me, and I hope to a lot of other people as well, represents part of what is Australia. It's what makes Australians Australian. It's just part of our history. My emphasis is really on how quickly do we get the NBN. I had been given to understand some months ago that it was a fait accompli and that Broken Hill was to be the first place to get it. And I subsequently learned that we had to plead in order to get it in a timely fashion. I draw your attention to the Miners' Memorial, which sits on top of our skimp stump. And there are over 800 names of miners who lost their lives in the process of extracting the wealth out of the ground in Broken Hill in order to fund the industrialisation and development of Australia. In building the website, which is quite simple to remember, it is Visitbrokenhilldotcom, I have a need to absorb what it is that makes Broken Hill unique, and there is absolutely no question in my mind that it is unique. And one of the things I have discovered is that there is a great sense of debt. You owe us. And the you, interestingly enough, in this case, is the rest of Australia, particularly focused on Canberra and Sydney, and to a lesser extent Melbourne. And there is an enormous sense of debt. And you, as the select committee of the National Broadband Network, have got a fantastic opportunity to help with the degree of reparation relative to the NBN. Its fast internet connection, which is vital to our area. And I say, what do we want? We want the NBN. When do we want it? We want it now.
Thanks for that. And if you could just identify yourself.